Here,
Gimmighoul, give me status, let me feel alive. New Contramerc City's humming, pulling on the vibe. Dope vibes floating in the air tonight. Podcast running till the morning light. Memories on loop, they replay and bend.
99.9 Gimmighoul Radio, hottest FM radio in New Contramerc City.
Welcome to Gimmighoul Radio. Today it's me, Unseelie, and I've got two very special guests because unfortunately Make had some stuff going on and he couldn't make it to the radio tower. I'm with one of our mods, Jake. How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
And the other very special guest we have is our very own Professor Gray back in the studio. How are you, Gray?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here.
So today, guys, we're going to talk about something that's you've probably seen a bunch of. We're trying to figure out what's better, Mega Evolutions or regional variants. Hell, I'll even throw in there the regional fakes just as a, kind of third option, devil's advocate, so to speak. With Legends ZA literally on the horizon, we know Mega Evolution is returning, but we also know in the Legends game that regional variants and regional evolutions are a very prominent feature, at least in what we've seen before. So I'm going to actually I'm going to start with our professor, and I'm going to ask you, Gray, what do you prefer in a game? Would you prefer Megas or would you prefer regional variants?
100% regional variants or forms or whatever we get. I want the Pokemon to change and stay. The thing with Megas with me is that they're kind of gate kept between the games that they're in. Like Champions might fix that, but still it's going to be gate kept through Champions. If Megas aren't in Gen 10, then my favorite Mega is non-existent. So
100%.
I feel like regional forms just solidifies that this Pokemon is now different because of some reason. And it stays different throughout wherever you take it. Like I have a Hisuian Typhlosion and Scarlet and Violet that is a Hisuian Typhlosion,
Okay. Gray, Jake, what's your viewpoints on this?
So I really like the regional variants a whole lot more. This will be my first game with any Mega Mons in it. So like I didn't come back into the franchise till Legends Arceus. So I came in, regional variants are a thing. I really like that. I've watched tons of videos and seen gameplay with Megas in it, and I'm just not big on the whole gimmick with Megas. Like especially like when you read the Pokédex on them. I mean, they're all like suffering somehow. It's kind of a weird twist that Pokemon even went that way with them, I feel like. I mean, like Houndoom's, his claws are so hot that they burn his soul or some crazy crap like that. It's like, good Lord, what did poor Houndoom do to deserve this?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think maybe they'll do something made different with the Megas this time. Maybe they'll have some Mega regional variants. Something just to please both sides of the topic here. Well, no, we'll see what happens. There's so much unexpected things that might come from ZA.
I agree. I do think we're going to see both. I mean, here's my thing. So you've given Typhlosion a regional variant. Now, we have the two other Johto starters. You can't just have regular Feraligatr and regular Meganium because then they don't get anything special. I also have been very hesitant on thinking that the starters from Legends ZA are going to get Mega Evolutions, because how do you give, in the same token, these three starters Megas, but not their other counterparts? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I feel like what they're going to do is give the Kalosian starters Megas and the Hadbin be the second starter or something akin to that.
I think so as well.
and your first starter will be the regional form, so that the second starter is your introduction into megas. So it's like you have both on your teams from the jump.
Because Jake brought up the Dex injury for Houndoom, I actually brought it up so I could read it. It is horrifying.
I'm telling you, it's
got,
awful.
obviously, it's got two Dex entries. So the first one is its red claws and the tips of its tails are melting from a high internal temperatures that are painful to Houndoom itself. And then the second one, Houndoom's entire body generates heat when it mega evolves. Its fearsome fiery breath turns its opponents to ash.
I mean, I like how Game Freak was like kind of starting to get a little bit more sinister there, but at the same time, like, the Pokemon are supposed to be your pals here. And now we're making them suffer. I'm mega evolving them.
I mean, have you ever looked into the Mega Tyranitar one?
No.
Oh, so due to the colossal power poured into it, this Pokemon's back splits right open. Its destructive instincts are the only thing keeping it moving. The effects of Mega Evolution make it more ferocious than ever. It's unclear whether it can even hear its trainer's orders. So, like, this is pretty much saying, like, you're killing your Tyranitar
That's awful.
while making it, like...
Going into a primal state of Jacob. He's just acting off instincts to stay conscious.
And like another thing
Like-
with the Mega too, some of the designs are really good, but like for me, like Mega Mewtwo X and Y, I mean, I'm just not big on them.
They could have just kept wide, and we would have.
It looked like something out of Dragon Ball Z to me.
It
It's-
is. It
yeah.
definitely would. Yeah, I think all of them
It-
kind of take from that Super Saiyan aspect.
True. That's very
So-
true.
I guess back to on topic, for me, it's gonna be regional variants also. I do find it funny that the three people that we have today are heavily on the regional variant side. I don't know if Make or Dan or any of the other guys are into megas, but for me, the big reason is, and you touched on it a bit, Gray, where once like this game is done, if megas don't return in a base game, they're kind of non-existent. Like, yeah, I have, like, there's this really cool art, there's this really cool form, but I can't do anything with it. Like, I can't, like, it's cool. It's like Ultra Necrozma. It's really
There's a lot-
awesome.
Wait,
And arguably, it's the better form of Necrozma, but I can't do anything with it. It just exists. And I mean, like you had said, champions will probably change that, but it's not the same, because then it's just being used for competitive basis. And that really, it's just kind of like a feels bad moment for me, at least in Pokemon, because it's like, okay, well, now you're locked into this mobile app. It's not like I can adventure with you and, have Mega Evolution on my team in a playthrough, but we also don't know what's coming in Gen 10. I also, ever since Regional Fakes came out in Generation 9, I actually really enjoy those. At first, I hated them. Oh my god, at first, I despised them. I was like, it's just a regional form of Diglett. Like, get rid of it.
I like it
call
so
what
much
is.
more.
So, the reason I like it so much more is it doesn't share a dex entry. 2, evolution methods and I guess like obtaining them doesn't become gatekeeped, and they have like I said, they have their own dex entry. So like I can legitimately look at this Pokemon and go, it is a different Pokemon. Like I take a look at my prime examples are Rapidash and Ninetales. Their regional forms are vastly different Pokemon than what the original was.
Oh yeah.
So they should have probably been regional fakes, and they probably were like planned to be or something along those lines, but they are so vastly different that it makes me wonder if regional fakes will be the new quote-unquote regional forms, because it's just,
I feel like regional fakes are there to like differentiate what animal the Pokemon is based off of. Because with regional forms, they're still based off of the same premise.
That's
like,
true, yeah.
Ninetales is still a fox. Exeggutor is still a tree. It stays the same. But with regional fakes, it's like, okay, Diglett's a mole, but Wiglet's an eel. There's...
That's fair, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, like the whole thing with the regional fakes is they're really not the same Pokemon. They're Pokemon that have evolved over time and have similar characteristics to those Pokemon. It was divergent evolution, I think it's kind of what they're supposed to be based off of. So, and I think that's a great twist that they even include that in the franchise. It really does give you something else to look forward to.
It's the way
It
you
really
use
does.
these designs in a way that, that doesn't clash with regional forms and it's something different. I can use a different type of Diglett design as a water thing, and it still fits.
Yes.
Yeah. So, leaning into the regional forms, I guess, besides the starters, I feel like the starters have been explored ad nauseum. Like, it's been overdone. We, at least Gimmighoul Radio and our friends at the Pokésphere, we think we've narrowed it down, maybe even figured out what we think the final Evos are going to be. I firmly believe this. I think Game Freak and the Pokemon Company spoiled this with the 7-star raids. But I guess my question is, what regional forms do you think or would you like to see?
It's tough. I never even thought about that.
I haven't either.
I mean, like my biggest one I want a water poison for alligator. I would love to have him as a regional variant.
That's cool.
And
A water poison for alligator would be really cool.
I don't think it's going to be water poison, though.
I definitely think it's going to be water dragon, but
I think
and I can see that.
I think it's going to be water dark.
And I can see that too.
Well,
Good.
so
It
the
already
only
looks like
reason
a dark type.
Well, the only reason I say that is because Magnanium, what is it? For alligator and
Tepig.
Pignite, or no, not Pig. Right,
Epic.
yeah, Tepig. I can never remember. It's Emborg.
Yeah,
they are
Emborg.
the only starters besides the original, a couple of the original ones that, well, at least these ones, they're the only starters of their generation to have Terra types in the 7-star raids that don't match a type they already have. Emborg was electric, Feraligatr was dark, Meganium was psychic.
Oh. I see. I didn't even realize that because I missed out on the 7-star raids.
yeah, I skipped those. So,
Yep. So it's
Being
it's
great being
very
lazy.
interesting.
that's what a curveball to showcase trickery with a fairy move to have us all speculate fairy just to throw us into the psychic realm.
a lot of psychic Pokemon learn fairy moves.
That is true.
That is very true.
So I actually don't think so. As far as regional variants, we're going to get many regional variants from Gen 6. The reason I say that is because we don't have, like, a lot of Gen 6 Pokemon were giving regional variants, and a lot of Gen 5 too, but a lot of Gen 6 were also given regional variants in Legend ZA.
Okay.
That makes
So-
sense.
I almost wonder if we'll get a bunch of Gen 2.
You see, I was just thinking the same thing. Like, I could see some Gen 2 Mon being regional. Because, I mean, Gen 2, the whole Johto region, a lot of the Mons are really lacking. So, I mean, I could see some regional forms giving spark back to a lot of those Mons. Which they've tried doing over the years. I mean, you had Paloswine, Mamoswine, and what all else did we get?
I can see them doing regional forms for like Gen 6 and 7. I mean, Gen 7 and 8.
You think Gen 7 and 8?
Like Pokemon from Alola. Like I feel like something from there could get a regional form easily.
I could see that actually. I could see that.
Bring some Galomons out and give them regional forms.
I mean,
give the people what we want. We want the Dunsparce to hatch out of its cocoon and become some kind of crazy creature.
See, the thing is, I tend to not think that that's going to happen. What I'd like to see, I think, is, I'd like to see more Lycanroc forms, personally. Or us get a Blood Moon version of Lycanroc.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be cool.
That would be sick. A Blood Moon Lycanroc would be sick.
Oh, so good. But what I honestly desperately want, a male Evo first to land it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be neat. Since only the female evolves. Yeah.
Make it a, like, fire dragon or, poison dragon or something.
Yeah. That'd be good.
But
yeah,
I don't...
I mean, the possibilities, that's the thing with regional forms, is just like, it's hard to guess because, I mean, like with Legends Arceus, it seems like they just kind of handpicked a few and said, here you go.
Right. Well, Legends Arceus, we had a lot of regional evolutions.
Yeah, this is true.
For lines,
I want to see Dragapult get a form.
I would love to see the water dragon version of Dragapult.
I would love to see it. Like they found some technology in ZA that revitalized it or something. I don't know. Make it happen. I don't care how you do it.
The other thing that I think could be deserving of a Evo is obviously the Quetzalcoatl line. Scovilla needs something. So I'm very torn because as much as I would love to see Cramorant get an evolution, I want it to get a Mega.
Cramorant with an evolution versus a Mega.
I definitely think a Mega is better.
I think a Mega is better. I think Cramorant is already like in that realm of being a gimmick mon that it doesn't need to evolve. It's a miracle. Like it just needs to stay the same and do it better.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing that I think that I would like to see is the correct fossils from Gen 8.
No, don't correct them. They're fine. They're perfect. They are the way they are.
We have to correct them.
They're in pain. What is it? I think it's Arctovish. It can't breathe. It can't breathe because of the way its head is.
Hey, and Arctozoa is perpetually shivering.
Yep. Like, the way that Pokemon does, like, certain things, they're so protective of their brand. But they do weird things with, like, their Pokedex entries where it's like, yeah.
That's where a lot of the stuff is. Like, that's where you find a lot of fascinating things in the Pokedex entries.
What if you get a new Charcadet evolution?
So I have seen a ton of different, I guess, things.
I'm sorry, I'm just
Charcadet.
scrolling through the decks and just looking at Pokemon.
I think Charcadet has a very good chance of becoming a pseudo EV type Pokemon, just with like different armors.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely see that.
In my brain, it doesn't make sense that we didn't get a fire fighting one.
Right. I feel like he's like the Monster Hunter clone of Pokemon. Like they can use him as like every weapon. Like you can have a bow, you can have a lance, you can have a weapon and armor set, and they just roll with it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess regional variants are very hard to pick because I think everybody has something that we all want to see a regional variant of something. But I will say, I think one of the harder things that we can pick out, and we kind of said it right now with the Cramorant, what megas would you guys like to see?
A Mega Fluttermane.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine that in VGC.
Just to make it go to the blend.
Yeah,
Talk about something that doesn't need a mega.
Well, like you talk about Scovillian. I mean, like that'd be perfect for him to give him
Right.
something.
He has
And
the
I can
type.
see
and
like
he just needs
Scovillian like
a different
blasting
design.
out, doing something crazy with its two heads.
But see, like I think Scovillian's one of those ones where like everybody says like a Mega would be awesome because it would complete the line, or you just give it a third Evo like we thought it was gonna
Yes.
have. There you go.
Well,
Like-
I'm with you. I mean, the Game Freak being Game Freak, that would be the way they would solve it, and it would not make us happy in the long run.
So yeah, that's my problem is if you do a Mega for like Scovillain, I feel like you're robbing the community of that third Evo, and that doesn't feel good. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
but like me saying like I was saying Cramorant, for example, like a Mega Fifth Cramorant, ain't nobody want that dumb bird to evolve.
You're right. People love the dumb
we just-
birds.
We just want him to be more goofy.
Just say
Like I
you,
want him to
Still
be
female.
like, exactly. I want him to be like a Mega Evolve, get super fat, and try shooting like a Charizard out of his mouth or something. Just something like absolute,
Charizard of crazy.
just something wild. Like go full fat Chocobo, and like have him shooting like I don't know, an Aggron or like just something like crazy. Or you go like super fat Chocobo and it's actually spitting out a Snorlax.
Oh gosh, that's a full Billy there.
What a bullet to
That-
dodge.
There ain't no dodging that.
Oh man. But yeah, so I guess that's my question. What Megas would you guys like to see? Jake, I'll have you go first.
Oh man, it's
Time
so
to think.
tough. I mean, I would love to see some, like, of course, some of the Gen 9 stars. I think it'd be really cool if they got some Megas. I can see them doing something with that, like Skelderidge Mega evolving and doing something more with his torch, maybe that hangs out in his nose. I mean, I
Okay.
think that'd be pretty neat. But I mean, really, this being my first time dealing with Megas, it's a lot for me just to take it all in, just to figure out the gameplay with them and all this stuff. And like, I haven't even thought about what Megas I'd like to see other than maybe the starters, of course, like a Feraligatr or something like that, which I still feel like they'll do. I think it's like you were saying earlier, maybe like a regional third Evo and then maybe a Mega Evolve on top of it.
Okay.
But
I like that.
we'll see. I
my
mean,
only issue with that is they're gonna have to give like Hisuian Typhlosion a Mega.
yeah. And they might,
so
they might do it.
That would be insane.
You just
This
throw
might be the year of
Typhlosion
the
in a
Mega.
while.
They might just
It's
give
close
everything
game.
a Mega.
That would be insane. Gray, what would you like to see for a Mega?
That's a loaded question. That's a very loaded question. I had time to think and still don't have time to think. This
I was trying to stall for you.
I see. You did well, but it wasn't enough. There's just so many Pokemon that kind of deserve a Mega. There's Pokemon that need it. There's Pokemon I would like to see. I want to see a Mega Druddigon.
Ooh, that's another one where it's like a single. It
Yeah.
doesn't have an Evo, and a Mega would fit
Yeah.
it really well.
Do something with that. I need him to be better.
That's fair.
Mega the
That's fair.
Dunsparce.
So I guess my choice. So this one you guys are gonna tell is heavily influenced by Rachel. She loves Penguin. I would love to see either a Mega Delibird or a Mega Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, the block on his head gets bigger.
No, it's like he's fully encased in ice. Just a fully like ice stat.
A Mega Delibird would actually make so much sense because Iron Bundle exists. So
Exactly.
Delibird
Yeah, I mean,
against
yeah, I can
that,
see it.
that makes so much sense.
I mean, personally, for me at least, I find it super odd that a lot of fan favorites, Lucario, Charizard, Mewtwo, all got megas, but they didn't do anything with Snorlax, Dragonite, Zoroark. Like, those are
They
all
may have tried
cla-
and just didn't have good design for them.
I mean, but like Zoroark, come on. There's like, if you can make Mega Lucario, you can 100% make Mega Zoroark.
Yeah, but then it loses its whole gimmick.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of, and I had been thinking about this a lot recently, so we know we didn't get a flying evolution in Alola because it was way too close to a fan-made design. Do we think that that has any bearing on, what's going to get megas and regional forms? Because there is a ton of art out there.
It could be.
It might be the
we're not
time
getting a
for a
Mega
Flygon.
There's no way they're going to think of a design that's not already been done. There's no way we're getting a Mega Flygon. I don't know why people think it. There's too much fan art. Way too much.
But this might be the time we get a dragon evolution or a fly.
Well, I will say if they do care about the fan art about their actually, then yeah, we're not getting Mega Flygon.
Well, that's kind of my thing is, and I think I want to do an episode about this down the road. Love to have you guys on, but who I'd love to get on is Suba. I would love to hear his viewpoints on fan art stopping the Pokemon Company from making their own designs or making designs that come close to fan art. Because the fact that they would outwardly say, we stopped making this because of somebody else's fan art, it's almost like they're blaming like Fakemon artists, and that's not really, I don't like that, if that makes sense. Like, I don't, it doesn't make it doesn't feel good.
You shouldn't punish your community by
No,
not
I
using
feel
it.
like it was a circumstance of they had already had a design and plan. They was already going in motion with it, and at last minute they saw that it was close to a design on the internet from someone else, and
Maybe,
scrapped it and just had to just keep going without it. They didn't have time to go back and change. It was just, it's done, and we'll just keep going.
They probably worried more about copyright laws, I'd say, more than anything.
That too, yeah.
I can see somebody trying to smack something on them. I mean, it all takes somebody with a motive. Oh, look at my art I made. Look at the date I made this, and have it all documented. And then here comes Game Freak out, and it's like super similar. And honestly, that person could probably have a leg to stand on.
So I'm gonna fire back on that because of the they've kind of done it before. I think it was the Palafin. The Palafin design is almost like a perfect 1-to-1 of a fan design that came out. Was it Palafin? Gray, you might know a little bit better than I do.
Yeah, it was Palafin and Skullvillain.
Yeah, and so that kind of makes me look and go, wait a minute here. You had no problem doing it on this side, but now it's stopping you from getting an evolution. And I'm not entirely sure if that's just because of how much stock is held on Eevee.
Eevee is just like, that's like an unofficial starter, so I guess it's just held in such high esteem.
Exactly. So I don't...
Maybe it was just the design itself. There was nothing they could change within the design to differentiate it from the fan art. Because EVs and evolutions all have very, very specific designs. I will say Palafin and Skullvillain, they changed them enough to say, hey, we just went in the same direction. It's not the same design. But Eevee, you can't really do that with.
Especially how loved it is and how much fan art there is for the different types.
This will actually lead into our break discussion. We'll probably take a break after this, but if they're going to use the example of we changed it enough, well then, why are you getting mad at Pal World?
Dang.
I'm sorry.
I bet it's facts. I can't even be mad at it.
I was just getting the light turned on. It's a brand new studio. Welcome, everybody.
You have to remember what the release date of the PlayStation 5 was and how well that's still running with the components that are in that.
We have a ball. Level up, power up, listen to the beat. From the latest cheats to the rarest feats. We bring the buzz to your screen.
Evan knows what he's talking about. He understands competitive battles to a T. IQ through the roof when it comes to competitive battling. And I think he showed it. Day 2, Toronto, BGC, he was there.
Hey, one more minute. God.
See y'all next week. Let's go and see that we gotta get out of here.
Ravens have forgotten air in the glow of dreams. We find our share. Neon horizons we chase till dawn. Under electric skies where secrets are born. Whispers in alleys where the memories fade.
Welcome back. That was an awesome commercial. I really hope so. We're actually going to pivot. So, as a lot of people have known and a lot of people have kind of figured out, there's not a whole lot going on in Pokemon news and community. I mean, there's some leaks, there's some rumors. We tend to not cover those. So we're actually just going to pivot away. We do have a few things coming up, I guess, in, we'll call it the general gaming space. A lot of it has to do with obviously Monster Hunter Wilds, which I know Gray and myself and a lot of people on the server have been playing. And then the other thing that we're going to talk about is Pal World. Yes, Pal World is back in the lexicon of the brain for the majority of people again. The first thing I am going to stress is, unfortunately, Jake, has not been playing Wilds, but he has been playing Monster Hunter Rise. I have a feeling that's what we're going to be playing when we leave the studio tonight. But, so I'm going to love to get his opinion on just getting back into the Monster Hunter franchise for someone who hasn't played in a while. So first things first, I am going to start with Gray and ask, how have you liked Monster Hunter Wilds?
Monster Hunter Wilds, I've been enjoying myself. I've been having a lot of fun. There aren't too many things I would say gripe me about the game. I've been heavily addicted to the games. That's about it. And I want wire bugs back. That was
100% wire bugs were. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I mean Jake's in the prime of Rise, where everything was happy. I miss my doggo. I miss my doggo.
Yeah. It's really neat. I do like the Palamute and the what do you call the cats again?
Calico.
Calicos, yes.
Yep. I will say, just so you're aware, Jake, whenever you do get into Wilds, they do give us a mount, I guess.
Can they do
I wish I
anything?
could. They can glide if they want to.
Oh, sweet.
it's a secret how they work.
Have you
I
got
see.
yours to actually glide?
Mine?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it sucks. It tries to auto fix on the path that it's supposed to go. So sometimes it'll just turn into a wall, and they're so dumb. I hate the birds. They look so cool, but they act so dumb. I hate them, and they need to reprogram these birds.
The only gripe I have with Monster Hunter Wilds is at start it didn't come with what I felt like was enough monsters.
Yeah, that's
Really?
true.
I think there's maybe 13 or 15 monsters.
That's it. Wow.
They keep a lot of them towards post game too, like
Yeah,
for credit.
which is
Like
really
a lot
weird.
of them, like a good handful of them.
And I think that's weird for me because I mean I can't remember when I played World. I can't remember they started off with a limited amount of monsters and we got the course of the lifetime of that game. But I know for Rise, like, and I mean even now, Rise there is so many monsters. There was so many monsters in that game where
It's unreal.
just it's so insane.
Yeah, I mean, like for me,
Also
my last Monster Hunter game I played was Monster Hunter Freedom 2. So
Jesus.
from playing Rise to that, I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, really, it's a whole lot easier because I just remember the struggle of the hitboxes and the dependency on the current. Like the currency was so hard to get, the grind was so hard, and like getting to Rise, I'm just like, man, this is nothing. Like this is fun. This is actually very enjoyable.
I will say there were moments in Wilds that felt easier than they should have.
Yes, a lot of the so that is something that I kind of picked up on, and I didn't feel this way in Rise, and I don't think I felt this way in Worlds, but Wilds, some of like the big battles that they like hype up super hardcore, like Jake, sorry for the spoiler, Guardian Rathalos, I think it was, or yeah, Guardian
Ooh.
Rathalos. I assumed that battle. I mean, in Rathalos, I mean, Jake, you played Monster Hunter for, you played Monster Hunters before. You're playing Rise
The
currently.
Pikachu, the franchise.
Yes, like the actual poster child of the franchise should not be that easy as a battle, especially with a new mechanic like the Guardian mechanic.
Yeah, I will say he feels spammy. Like he'll start spamming stuff, and
Yes.
That is very, very annoying, but it's not too much to deal with. It's just like, okay, I gotta stand over here and watch him throw a tantrum for a second, and then I can go back and hit him.
So can I ask you that? I mean, Jake, I don't know if you watched any Wilds. You might have watched some of my streams when I've done it, or like maybe Suba's.
I've been trying
but-
to hold back on watching them, but I've been starting to
That's
watch a little bit.
So you might have noticed this. I know Gray probably definitely noticed this. A lot of the monsters seem to be heavily spammy when it comes it's very MMO boss encounter feel.
a lot.
See,
So
I
it's
can get that out of Rise too a little bit with like some of the older monsters like Rathalos
Yes.
or Diablos. I mean, they're still a little spammy. Like their move pool just don't seem like it's changed the most. Cause I still remember Freedom 2 very well because I played it so much. And I'm just like, yeah, it's getting ready to do this. Like it's been so long since I played it, but I can still remember the move pool almost just because of how much I suffered against it with the way the hitboxes were then.
Yeah, and
But the way it
freaking
is now,
it's the spamming the moves and having a giant hitbox that you can't evade.
Yeah.
And Diablos is the bane of my existence. I hate
Oh
both
my
of those
god.
concepts.
yeah, and like now it's like in Rise, I could literally sit underneath their feet just about and dodge around and get good hits in. And before, like I remember in Freedom 2, I mean, it was just a suffering. It was just like I would have to paralyze him. I'd have to put traps out. I would have to do whatever I could to get some hits in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, you
Wait,
can
so
just
hold
stand
on.
right under them. You can literally just stand under them and just be like, okay, I'm good if I just stay under them.
You
You just get
just
free hits.
you just got the post game in Rise, you said, right?
Yes. I just got to the post game.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say this outright. The one thing I did like that Rise did, as you get up in hunter levels, and I'm hoping they do this with HR ranks in Wilds. I had to stop playing for a little bit. Same reason, I wasn't on the episode last week. We had some stuff going on IRL. I had to take care of it, so I wasn't able to game as much. But the one thing I will say about Rise that does very well, the AI for the monsters, like while you're in story mode, super just transparent. You're gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, you're going to respawn like that, I will respawn like this, fight over.
Yeah, pretty much.
As you get into late game though, all of a sudden those patterns, and like Anjanath is huge for it, all of a sudden those like those actual patterns evidently just don't mean anything, because all of a sudden, like, I remember Anjanath, easiest way to kill that thing was to get underneath it and just keep attacking it.
Extos.
All of a sudden, it started stomping, and I went, okay, well, whatever, this is new. And then all of a sudden, I've got 2 Palicos stretching me out of a fight, going, huh? I didn't anticipate that.
What just happened?
So that is one thing I will give Rise. As a lot of the updates started coming out, the AI for the monsters started, I won't even say it's learning. It's just, it got better.
Yeah.
And I think the issue with the newer Monster Hunter games, and they warned us about Wilds. Like, I will not, like, I don't take this away from the Wilds at all. They outright warned us. They said this is the most new user-friendly Monster Hunter that has ever come out. And they were not wrong.
They did not lie.
Yeah, because Monster Hunter's never really user-friendly franchise. It's a lot of learning.
No, and this is the first time where I looked at a Monster Hunter game and was like, if I have somebody that's never played a Monster Hunter game, this is the game I want them to play. Because
let's give Monster Hunter 1. Let them suffer.
Oh,
Pull out the PS2s.
I own a PlayStation 2 and Monster Hunter 1. That is a game, along with Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, that I will never pick up a controller to play ever again.
Yeah, it suffers. It's a lot of suffering.
I look at Monster Hunter 1, I look at the Dark Souls games as a prison sentence that I served, and I'm not going back. Like,
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
But I think Greg can agree with me, and you can probably agree with me to an extent with Rise, because Rise is very, very good at teaching you the way that the game was played. It, as a veteran Monster Hunter player, it didn't feel, so at first, it didn't feel bad with how tutorial heavy and how teachable the new Monster Hunter games have been.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole story mode is a tutorial, honestly.
It really is. The issue I have is that it doesn't take into account, so there's a lot of other games are, have you played this version of this type of game before? Yes. They wheel back on the tutorial. You can have played another Monster Hunter game, and this game is like, I don't care. This is how you play this, and I'm like, when I have played Insect Glaive since the dawn of the Insect Glaive even showing up, and I did not need to learn how to jump in the air and helicopter my way through a monster 3 different times through this game. I understand how it works. I enjoy how it works. Stop telling me.
That was something for Rise I really did appreciate, because like going back in the day, PSP Freedom 2, there wasn't much of a tutorial at all. It was just like, figure it out.
That's what I was gonna say, and I think Gray can accept this too. I think Gray can answer this too, or at least agree with me on this. Maybe not though. Learning a new weapon in Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Wilds is so much easier.
Yes, for sure. You can pick up whatever in those games and be fine. You know, the learning curve on any of the weapons are very low, very low.
I mean, I learned how to use gun lance. Like that's what I started out with was gun lance in Monster Hunter Freedom 2, and that was a hell of a learning curve.
Oh my god!
I just wanted to use it, and I suffered for a long time.
Like playing it with a Rubik's Cube.
Oh my god! That's not even that's playing with a Rubik's cube underwater.
No
like
lie.
Those things are. I mean, they're still slow. They're better now, but like, oh my god! I remember teaming up. I remember teaming up with people and just being like, "Okay, cool. We'll I'll wait here. The monster's asleep, so we're good. Let me know when you get here." Okay,
that's really how it is.
They're coming. Hey, the monster moved. Where you came from? Go back that way. I used to love. I think it was gun lance and hammers. I remember when hammers used to be super like they weighed you like the speed or the character movement was like actually hindered by what you were carrying. And I used to love it when it'd be like, okay, hey, monster's over here. Okay, I'm coming. Oh, we did enough damage. It's moving back to where you were. I just came from there.
Well,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And they just spent the whole fight going back and forth. I felt so bad. But I will say they.
That's what I use. I use gun lance. Like in the very first Monster Hunter I played, it was gun lance, hammer, and
oh god,
shoot, what else was it? The other one, lance. I used the lance. I just had an affinity for those. I had to use them.
You don't like moving.
Dependable, tough, reliable, built to last. These are all the buzzwords corporations think will get you to buy the all-new Contramerc City's 99.9 Gimmighoul Radio. It's the same exact radio station as before, but with more torque, more power, and high beams specifically engineered to blend the poor for tailgating from uphill to downhill. Wherever you are, it will get you where you need to go. The all-new Contramerc City 99.9 Gimmighoul Radio. It can handle anything, as long as it is Pokemon.
No, it was awful at times.
Oh man!
And then I would use to know every now and again.
That's fair. That's very fair. I think. I don't know. I think the one thing I used to hate about hammers is, I don't know if you guys remember this. Hammers used to have this weird thing where it could knock back allies as well. So
I knew that.
Yeah, it's when they would do like the spin.
Okay.
So the problem is when you have an insect glaive coming in from the top, but the hammer user is starting to do their spin, and I try to go down and like actually like attack the monster. I've never caught so much air going in the opposite direction than I did by getting hit with a hammer. And like part of me almost wonders if like that was built in intentionally so like you could combo in some way. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But I also have never found a hammer user I trust enough to test that theory out. I mean, maybe I know Giant in our Discord server. He's a hammer user, so I'd probably try it with him. But I am never getting close enough to a random hammer user when they can knock me out of the sky if I can help it.
Yeah, I understand. See, in
but yeah,
Rise,
so-
I'm using a switch axe, and
How do you like
I
it?
can't remember. It was I love it. It's like my favorite one. It's my favorite weapon overall. Just I can't remember it being in Freedom 2. But like I was just looking through the list. I'm like, do I want to run bow again? Do I want to suffer and use gun lance? I'm like, oh, a switch axe. What's this? All right, we're trying this out. The rest of them, I had a familiar. I was kind of familiar with them. I mean, I wasn't going to use what's it called? The pipe, the flute. What do you call it? I wasn't going to use that. The hunting horn. I was not going to use the hunting horn. So I was like, let me try the switch axe out. I loved it.
I don't even know if I guess technically you can solo with a hunting horn. I don't know if I would advise it.
Oh yeah, you could definitely nowadays. Now you can solo.
Well,
with a
yeah,
hunting horn.
true.
I tried, and back in the day, it didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
So I was watching a short earlier. That was like one of the few Wilds videos I've seen. That was a guy running the hunting horn setup, and he was showing all the stuff he was stacking on top of it. And pretty much after all his stacking and everything, he could literally just sit back and heal himself, and it would heal his teammates, and from a good ways off. So everybody else is just fighting, and he can just keep feeding everybody. And I was like, damn, that's awesome. So like a hunting horn,
wild.
like, if you get a player that really understands the concept, it would probably really help you out.
Yeah, they're probably your best ally in any hunt. Literally any.
Oh
hunt.
yeah, no. It is legitimately like the best support weapon that is in the game, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
long swords freaking stunning me every 2 seconds. I can't play a hunt in Wilds without a long sword user just stunning me to oblivion out of my combos.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst.
So-
that is actually.
It's
So when you play
many of them.
together, you can hurt each other.
Not hurt each other, but you can stun each other.
Oh, okay. So the effects of your weapons
yeah.
can hurt each.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it won't cause you damage, but it will so like the hammer can knock you back, the longsword can stun you. There's a couple other things.
I think the switch axe has one and a great sword.
If I'm not mistaken, but
Actually, I think charge blade too. I think any two-handed weapon can stun the users.
Well, yeah, that'd be aggravating.
Yeah. So you're just sitting there in a combo, and then you're just like, why am I flinching? Like, why can't I do anything? You just realize, oh, you're doing your combo, so I have to sit here or go to a different part.
Yep.
So I got Runch and Tail try to go there, then they follow me. It was like, bro, figure out where you
They never will. They never will. I mean, Wilds is a good game. Rise, like I said, we're probably going to be playing Rise tonight to play with Drake. So that'll be good. That'll be
I look forward to it.
That'll be fun. So the next thing we wanted to talk about was Pal World. Pal World recently released an update that kind of changes the way that Pal World works, I guess, in the gaming community, where they finally have cross-platform play, which enables cross-platform servers. The other, I think, cool thing that they kind of shadow dropped along with this update is, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's like the PAL transfer station. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to take PALs from any of your worlds and load them off server, where you can have them stored and able to bring them into the new server once you have this PAL transfer station built. Now, it's almost like a Pokemon Home, but for Pal World, which is kind of cool.
Pal Home.
It's kind of cool. It's not mobile, which is I'm fine with. The big limitation for it, and I mean this kind of bugs me a little bit, but when I thought about it, it really did. You can only store one PAL of each. I think it's each species. Am I correct, Greg?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so you can only store one PAL of each species. The cool thing is like, so, what's the cat name? Meow or whatever it is. What's the cat's name?
What?
The little black Egyptian cat.
Mao.
Mao. So I think Mao and Mao Christ technically count as separate species. But again, you can only have one of each.
I see. I mean, I don't dislike that just because you can still cheese it a little bit because with the PAL transfer system, you kind of clone the Pokemon. You clone the PAL like between worlds, so you'll have a PAL in the original world and you can have a PAL in the new world through the transfer mod. So,
it doesn't actually transfer them out of the game?
Yeah, it just basically clones them.
Oh, that's cool.
So you could store them in the box, and then each world can have its own individual version of that PAL.
That's really cool. But
so I'm not too worried about that,
Yeah.
but that is annoying because I have a bunch of Yakumos and other things I would like to transfer over, but it's whatever.
But that being said, Grim Sanity, I don't think he's been on the show yet, is going to be working on getting us an official Gimmighoul Pal World server. Finally, we are all very excited about this, let me tell you. So at some point, hoping in the near future, probably not by the time this episode airs, but at some point in the near future, we will be having a Gimmighoul Pal World server, and we will be hosting, I guess, some events going on inside that server. So look forward to that. We have a couple ideas for how we're going to run guilds, how we're going to run different, PvP, PvE type of things. Unfortunately for Gray and myself, we have been told that it is a fresh start server, so that means we can't bring our pals in from other servers, which really hurts Gray and myself.
It's fine.
We have some pals. We have some pals we'd really like to bring in. But the cool thing is it's going to be open to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. So if you have it on any one of those systems, feel free to jump in, join. It shouldn't be too long before that's opened up. And we may have a couple others. I'm looking into maybe doing a kind of a different version of it, but that's for different things going on in the server. So more on that to come, but we definitely hope to see you all there. Jake, I'm gonna run it over to you. I don't know if we have anything coming up as far as tournaments yet, or anything going on in that sphere of influence.
Yeah. We actually starting the 25th of this month, we're going to be starting the Metronome tournament. Just going to be a friendly tournament. Everybody can just pick out some mons that only know Metronome, choose your Terra, get in. So it's not very VGC heavy. It's just a game of chance, more or less, and just something to have fun with, and hopefully get everybody involved, doing a little bit of something. But other than that, I
with
mean,
their
we don't have a whole lot going on. Maybe we talked about the trial some. I know maybe you want to talk about that a little bit.
We do have the Gimmighoul Radio and CC Media Group. We have our own region. It's Thavoria. We have some Fakemon coming out that are going to be featured in there. We have starters in the works. They just take forever to get done. That's because I'm lazy and I can admit that.
But you're doing a great job. They look awesome.
Yes, so the Thavorian Trials, we do have a channel set up with the rules, signups, and all that. We are currently looking for 4 shamans. They essentially equate to gym leaders, but our trials league, or however you want to refer to it, we're using the word trials because we're trying to very much differentiate ourselves from a Pokemon league because it's very different in a lot of aspects. But all the rules are in the channel. There's a lot of twists that go into this, I guess, battle tournament or competition. And
yeah,
the easiest way to say it is the Shamans and the Council of 4, which is essentially our Elite 4, that you face, say, today, could very much and most likely won't, if we get it to be, will not be the same people that you are facing 2 months from now.
yes, it's like a constant revolving door, and I think it really adds a neat spark to the whole concept of how a league can work. You know, that's why, like you said, that's why we're calling it trials. It's something a lot different. Like, for example, the shamans, if anybody is interested and decides to go to the Discord and look at it, the shamans, their teams are based on the biomes because they're protectorate to the land, more or less. And so each shaman has a biome they're representing, which they're using Pokemon that are usually inhabiting that biome. And the way it works like a revolving door is, say a shaman decides he wants to challenge a council member for his spot. Well, there he goes. He challenged the council member. He beats him. Now he's a council member, and then so forth. Now the council member's trying to find him a spot, so he's challenging either the champion, or he's going back and challenging the league, or he's challenging another shaman. I mean, it could be kind of chaotic at times.
But I think
For a good thing.
Exactly. I think the cool thing is if you are finding, I guess, the structure stale, you can legitimately walk in and go, well, this is stale. I'm going to start a chain reaction, and
Yeah.
everybody's changing.
Yes. It can get out of
So
hand. I could see it.
Oh,
And I look forward
that's
to it. It's going to be up.
That's why we impose the 2-week rule for making sure that people are in their position for 2 weeks. Because I can definitely picture some of the people within our Discord looking and going, I'm going to challenge every day and we're going to shake this up.
Evan, if you're watching, we're talking about you, Evan.
Damn. Just calling
That's
Evan
right.
out.
I'm calling him out.
Standing on my toe.
Hayes, I see you in the background back there.
Gray, do you have any announcements coming in from the Pokemon Lab?
We have shinies coming. TCG. I think on the March 27th, I believe, was the date.
Is this a new
it's gonna be this Thursday.
Is this a new set?
This is an entirely new set based. I think most of the chase cards are shiny, but I think they have some common cards that are also shiny. So it's just, yeah, it's a whole pack based around shiny Pokemon, which I think is
So is this
super cool.
like the Shining Fates, Shining Destiny?
Now they have fates. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Okay, that's actually really cool. That actually gets me excited.
Like,
That
I think one
actually
of the
gets me
two chase
excited.
cars they show was Lucario and Charizard. They've done on the pack too.
Oh, cool.
Of course, yeah.
You gotta have the poster
I'm
child.
actually-
Both of them.
Let's
Oh,
just
yeah,
sprinkle a little
it-
Pikachu.
It's Charizard EX. Oh, shiny Wiglet.
Oh,
That's what
they had that in Paldean
Oh.
Fates. It's like the cheapest card in the whole set. I got
It-
to
so fascinating.
actually-
Shiny Wiggle is what got him.
It's so cool. It's
I
blue.
didn't. This one's yellow.
What? Yellow?
Yeah, it's
Okay. It's a plot twist there.
hold on.
What trio's blue? Wiggle is yellow.
Oh, yeah. I'm
No,
thinking
what-
of Duck Trio. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I thought Love Trio was.
What trio's blue? Wiglet's yellow.
No, what trio is red originally? It's shiny is blue.
Oh yes, you're right. I'm dumb.
No, you're fine.
Oh, and they're adding red as their trainer card.
Ooh.
And they already got blue. They already got blue and leaf. So, well, as blue, yeah, blue's card. Blue's a card. They got blue and leaf, so it's only makes sense.
So I have an issue with this Lucario EX because it's worse than the other Lucario.
Yeah, it's just because it's shiny. You don't think about the card. It's shiny.
Yeah, but
And you can put them both in the same deck, and you have a regular Lucario and a shiny Lucario. The regular Lucario is better, but it's helping the shiny
not.
Lucario be better at his own ads.
It's
no.
oh my, it's you're the worst. You're the worst. You have actually upset me now.
Wait, I don't even think you can
Ah.
run them both because you can't run two Lucarios and two Riolos.
Yeah, no.
So you're having to choose between one or just one. Run one or each.
Yeah. That's a pain.
Okay. Okay, well, I have done my research for the day of Pokemon TCG Pocket, and I am now very upset. I mean, I'm not very upset because it actually looks like it's going to be a fun set, but I have issues. But now I'm going to run a Wiglet deck
Yeah.
just till I can. Although I'm very surprised that we're getting Paldean Pokemon so soon.
Yeah, they have Reverend one there too.
Yep.
I think they had Sprigatito in the trailer, so Meowscarada's in that deck too. Oh, cool. So that kind of leads me to think Poikoko and Quaxley will be in there too.
Yeah. I
could be wrong.
well, yeah, who knows with Pokemon? I mean, they kind of do their own.
Yeah.
They kind of do their own thing.
Is kind of like the poster child of Paldea right now. So
I want the.
So something neat I've always kind of seen with Pocket is how it seems like they use like older art and kind of like just change it up a little bit. And like as soon as I
Yes.
looked up the set and I seen the Charizard, I was like, that looks just like Charizard. And I had to Google it to figure out which one it was.
Y'all ever get pulled into a universe that wasn't your universe, but it wasn't, but it was old, but it was new to you, but it was old, but you met your grandpappy's pappy, and now you're out there trying to find old Pokemon in the name of Arceus? This is what it's like to drive the all-new 99.9 Gimmighoul Radio in New Contramerc City.
It's a Charizard GX, shiny, and it's like so similar, like the design and everything of it. I mean, it's posed a little bit different, but for the most part, it's pretty similar.
yeah, a
I
lot
would
of
think that's
cards
kinda
pay
neat.
homage.
Yeah.
They pay a lot of homage to like the older art in whatever card they're referencing. I really enjoy that. Makes Pocket like its own thing, but still calling reference to like what came before it and when it's fired it basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
like
what
some of the
truly
illustration
actually weird.
rares in Pocket are just awesome. I love the illustration rares in most of the Pocket sets.
So the art for Pokemon Pocket is next level, but I also tend to wonder if that is because it is digital art and they can do, it's not so much they can do more, but they can
You know, you
add
can probably-
different effects.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you gotta think you're putting something on a piece of cardboard. And more or less a sticker on a piece of cardboard is kind of how it is. And
Oh yeah.
it limits you, you know, putting it on a physical card to add something digital, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they
Speaking
can
of-
get a lot of that free reign.
Speaking of
Artistic.
Houndoom, that's probably like one of the best cards in the game right now.
Oh
art-wise.
my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
The full art Houndoom.
Gas. Oh my god, they snapped on that card for no reason. That thing looks menacing.
That
Like-
I was I was not expecting that to go that hard.
No, it goes crazy. Like that card it stands out from every other Pokemon card for no reason. Like even Giratina's card was more tame than Houndoom's card.
Yeah. It's like, I love the Houndoom illustration rare in Shrouded Fable, but then when I seen the Houndoom in Pocket, I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't we get this one? Why didn't we get this card physically?
Yeah, they made that card physical. That is my chase card because that card looks gorgeous. It is so. It made me think about putting Houndoom in my team. I was like, he could be a favorite, you know. I can like Houndoom. I can vibe with Houndoom.
It's just it looks so like it's so menacing.
So menacing. It just looks like it wants to kill something. Like it doesn't look like Pokemon. It looks like a murderous dog.
For like no reason. Look at that thing.
Even the non-full art goes crazy. Even his base card goes crazy. Him burst on the peak like that.
It really does.
Wait, I don't think I've seen the no, can someone pull the non-full art and show me? I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen the
Yeah, it's good too.
I think I've only seen the full art because that full art is just so nice. But I've never once said like a Pokemon's evil, but
Houndoom is definitely an evil Pokemon.
It's meant to be evil. It's designed.
He almost ran a fade on you and Scarlet and Violet 3 seconds into the game.
No lie.
I was like, yeah, I want smoke. I want to fight you and your lizard.
oh, so this is a remake. So
It is.
it is. It is. Hold on.
Hold on, where is it? Because I'm not too big on the TCG. I know a little something, but Houndoom wasn't on my radar.
That's something
I'm
else I
finding that.
like with Pocket and the TCG. It's like, oh yeah, you're talking about that art. It's actually, it's Houndoom. It's the e-reader card. I'm trying to figure out the set, but it's like the exact
trying to-
same.
Hold on. I've got it. Here it is. Boom.
Yes, that's it.
Like
But
these cards
same.
go hard.
yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, that goes crazy.
But
That card
Yeah,
probably
that
cost
is
$500.
it's just so good.
I feel like Houndoom's just as I love Pokemon that just like when it comes to the game, competitively just is not good. Even with Mega, I don't think it really ever got
sucks on the
lot
field, but like aesthetically, Houndoom is so goated.
Oh yeah.
So-
I mean, I think it's a good aesthetic in the Pokemon world.
It drives me nuts that Incineroar being the same typing is so good. But Houndoom,
Incineroar's a
it's-
tiger. And Houndoom's a dog.
yeah, but like same typing. I'm pretty sure Houndoom gets Intimidate. But if it doesn't, I'm very upset.
Houndoom, I
sure
don't
it
think
does.
gets a timid. It gets Flash Fire and something else.
Oh man, that's what it is.
It gets Early Bird, Flash
Yeah,
Fire,
that's right.
and Unnerve.
It gets on Nerve. Houndoom is arguably just trash. I think that's from them coming from Gen 2.
Yeah.
And Gen 6 tried to give him a Mega that worked, and it still didn't work, as you need his son, and the best Sunner was also a Mega, so you might as well just use the Charizard instead of Houndoom, you know?
Yeah.
So they just kind of dropped the ball, but like overall, he's just a perfect aesthetic in the Pokemon world. Like his fire burns you.
Oh yeah.
Houndoom carries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that its Pokedex is wild. Wild. If you are burned by the flames that shoots from its mouth, the pain will never go away.
Like what does that mean?
Do I feel my hand burning forever? Is it just like a stinging sensation forever? Can you live with it?
Am I gonna die? Like what?
Like,
What if he burns their whole body? It's my whole body just first to feel that pain forever.
You're gonna have
Like,
sunburn for the
excuse
rest
me.
of your life.
excuse me, I have questions.
Like I have
Oh,
to go
it's-
to work on Monday. I can't be feeling this.
Oh, interesting. It gets a different ability when it Mega Evolves.
Yeah, it gets what is it? Solar power.
Solar power. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah,
Because that's what it...
They try to make them better, and it could have worked if you didn't make the best Sunsetter a Mega.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Houndoom and Primal Trout could do some weird stuff. They could go crazy, I guess, but
Yep.
why when you have a Mega Screamer? Why?
Yeah, the problem is that its stats just don't...
Doesn't justify it on the field.
Which it really needs. I'm hoping we get a buff in
Get a
some way,
fake out.
because like this Pokemon, like I want to see this Pokemon in more.
Oh
You
yeah.
need a fake out and part inside, maybe a good stab. You got Fire Dark, so you're already halfway there.
It has a good
Exact-
attack, special attack. I mean,
Just make
I really-
the dog instead of roar.
you gotta.
The dog
I mean-
birds of instead of roar.
It can learn Sucker Punch.
It's already halfway there.
It can learn Sucker Punch, which is
Special ZA, Houndoom Z, make a stand, bro.
There you go.
Eyes up.
I'm actually looking to see if it can learn anything like good for Gen 9 that like might have been missed.
What was Linoon's evolution in Gen 8?
Oh, Obstagoon.
Obstagoon version of Houndoom. There you go.
There we go. There we go. We
Ooh.
already.
Okay, so it knows. It in Gen 9 it learns Lash Out and Chop.
Okay. Okay. He could do something.
Okay.
Wait, is Lash Out physical? Lash Out's physical, right?
I think it's. I think
Yes,
it hits harder
yeah.
if you got hurt. Just
Is it Houndoom special?
He's mostly
Both.
special, yeah. It can do both, but I think it's got the slight edge for physical.
Yeah, but then if it
Or,
Mega is,
special.
it's going to go all special. So you can't even play with that like as much as you
No.
would want to.
See, that's the wild thing. Like, that's the thing I don't understand. Most of the good moves it learns are physical.
Physical.
yeah. That,
But they made him a special mod. I think that comes with early game. Like they really try to balance things out that way, and it
they suffered in the long run. That making
Well,
them
I
good
think-
at one thing that they're supposed to be good at just made them suffer.
I think Houndoom suffers from that like not Gen 2 not knowing how to split physical and special.
I mean, when Gen 4 rolled around with the special physicals split, I mean, a lot of mine got left behind, and just have not been shown the love they need. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't take much to fix some of them. Like Houndoom, just give him some more special moves, and maybe a better ability. There you go, bam, he's good.
They're riding on Houndoom just having nasty plot, flamethrower, dark pulse, and sludge bomb. They think that's fine. So Houndoom survives
No,
Solar
And their
Beam.
solar
is
beam-
the
no. I actually just thought of something that I might try to do with this. So it learns beat up, and it also learns
Yes.
endure.
Where are you going with?
I'm wondering. Ooh, it learns hyper voice too.
Hyper voice is
right.
useful.
Okay. I think I'm going to use Houndoom as my new partner for our Chaladon and Infernape.
Oh, okay.
And then just spam Howl.
Just keep boosting.
Great. And then what? Like, instead of use Protect, use Endure. You're not killing it.
I don't think
True.
people are going to try to kill it. They're going to kill everything else on the other side and just let the Houndoom howl. I think that's what's going to happen. They're just going to
Probably.
hard focus left.
Make sure you
How's
run
the
one
do at
physical
the end?
move. Run one physical move.
Sucker punch.
Okay, well, I think we have gotten to the point where we are rambling now. So we are going to probably call it a night for tonight, guys. I do want to say again, this has been Gimmighoul Radio. I want to say thank you to Dick. I want to say thank you to Gray. If there's anywhere that they can find you guys, please let them know here. I mean, obviously you can find them in CC Media Group, the Gimmighoul server. But Jake, I'll start with you. Is there anywhere that you want to like shout out, or anywhere that people can find you besides Gimmighoul stuff?
No, not really. Just if you find me in Discord, I'm usually always hanging around. I just really appreciate y'all having me on tonight. I really enjoyed this, and hope to come back and do it again.
Yeah, same actually. This you can find me in Gimmighoul Radio Discord if you guys join, and I'm always hanging around reading. I might not be typing because I'm probably at work, but I'm always in there reading, so you can always tell me something and I'll say something eventually.
I do want to say one thing that we did miss is that I'm going to try to start doing streamer highlights. So we have a lot of awesome streamers in our server, and I definitely want to give them the shout outs that they deserve. And at some point I would like to have us, kind of just jump into our streamers like streams and hang out, participating if we're able to participate in the things that they're doing, and just support the people that make Gimmighoul Radio awesome. So I did completely forget to mention that, but as of right now, this one's in the books, guys. Dan and Mick, like I said, aren't around, so once we go off air, we can do whatever we want. I have been Unseelie. This has been Gimmighoul Radio. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.